Welcome to African Women in Decentralized Finance Faucet. In Africa, women play a critical role in driving social progress. They not only manage households, but also contribute significantly to economic activities, often in informal sectors. Despite their invaluable contributions, over 60% of women remain unbanked, facing obstacles in accessing financial tools and resources. Women are the custodians of One Health, a concept that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. For a baby to be born healthy, the mother's well-being is pivotal. Financial empowerment becomes a catalyst for this well-being, enabling women to afford nutritious diets, access healthcare services, and create an environment conducive to a healthy pregnancy and upbringing. Empowering women financially is a crucial step in disease prevention. With resources at their disposal, women can invest in better animal health care, improved cooking facilities, and hygienic practices, reducing the risk of disease. Financially empowered women can also invest in better sanitation, cleaner water sources, and improved housing conditions. This not only enhances immediate living conditions, but also contributes to long-term environmental sustainability and community health. Financial empowerment opens doors to education for women and their children. With access to resources, women can ensure their children receive quality education, breaking generational cycles of poverty and fostering a more prosperous society. Join us every Tuesday for our Learn to Earn sessions, where we empower women through DeFi, providing them with the tools and knowledge to transform their financial futures. Empowering women, transforming communities. Together, we can make a difference. Join our Learn to Earn programs every Tuesday. Check our website. Welcome to African Women in Decentralized Finance Faucet. In Africa, women play a critical role in driving social progress. They not only manage households, but also contribute significantly to economic activities, often in informal sectors. Despite their invaluable contributions, over 60% of women remain unbanked, facing obstacles in accessing financial tools and resources. Women are the custodians of One Health, a concept that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. For a baby to be born healthy, the mother's well-being is pivotal. Financial empowerment becomes a catalyst for this well-being, enabling women to afford nutritious diets, access healthcare services, and create an environment conducive to a healthy pregnancy and upbringing. Empowering women financially is a crucial step in disease prevention. With resources at their disposal, women can invest in better animal health care, improved cooking facilities, and hygienic practices, reducing the risk of disease. Financially empowered women can also invest in better sanitation, cleaner water sources, and improved housing conditions. This not only enhances immediate living conditions, but also contributes to long-term environmental sustainability and community health. Financial empowerment opens doors to education for women and their children. With access to resources, women can ensure their children receive quality education, breaking generational cycles of poverty and fostering a more prosperous society. Join us every Tuesday for our Learn to Earn sessions, where we empower women through DeFi, providing them with the tools and knowledge to transform their financial futures. Empowering women, transforming communities. Together, we can make a difference. Join our Learn to Earn programs every Tuesday. Check our website. Welcome to African Women in Decentralized Finance Faucet. In Africa, women play a critical role in driving social progress. They not only manage households, but also contribute significantly to economic activities, often in informal sectors. Despite their invaluable contributions, over 60% of women remain unbanked, facing obstacles in accessing financial tools and resources. Women are the custodians of One Health, a concept that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. For a baby to be born healthy, the mother's well-being is pivotal. Financial empowerment becomes a catalyst for this well-being, enabling women to afford nutritious diets, access healthcare services, and create an environment conducive to a healthy pregnancy and upbringing.
Hello everyone. Just a minute as I wait for the topic master, for the guest speaker, sorry.
All right. So, hey, good evening, people. So, hey, Dolphin, um, do you know, I have got any information from the guest speaker?
Oh, sorry, she has joined.
Okay. All right. So we can get started.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah, we'll get started as others are joining us. Yeah. Okay, good. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our session. This being the second session of Circle 5 of Learn to Earn. So thank you so much for everyone who have joined. And yeah, so today we are very privileged to have Diana, our guest speaker named Diana Kolek, who is the managing director of Evoc Global, helping female entrepreneurs build sustainable and scalable business. And also she's the former CEO of Women in Business Kenya and also deputy CEO of the African International Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So we are very privileged to have her here to share her insight. So let me take you to through our agenda for today. First, we'll have our presentation by our guest speaker, Diana Kolek. And then after that, we'll have additional insight from our CEO for Actuate Biomedicine, Dr. Macharia Waruingi. And then after that, we'll have question and answer session. So I encourage you, each and everyone, to actively participate, ask question, and even you can share your view. And after that, we'll have summit presentation by Diana Mondi. She'll give us an overview of what has been going on with the summit, and then after that I'll do the closing remarks. So with that, allow me to welcome our guest speaker, Diana Kolek. Diana, you are welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening. I hope this is going to be more of an interactive session, and I can see you're not very many. So I'll be engaging you guys, and I'm hoping that we can get some few feedback as we continue with the discussion. I'm really, really excited to be here. Thank you, Dolphin and Mr. Masharia, for the invitation. Wow, this is quite interesting. It's actually the first time for me to hear about this Actuate biomedicine. So it's really, let me just say, a new topic to me. I have read a little bit about, the aspect of what is it called? I know most of the time we keep talking about the Bitcoin and all that, but there's the overarching kind of technology that is used under that. I've read a little bit about it, and I'm really excited to be here to learn more about how it works and how you're actually using it to create, let me just call it a body of knowledge in the area of medicine, in the area of health. And yeah, I'm excited to see what is to come in that area. So I'm really, really excited. Thank you so much for the invite. Yeah, so as I was just thinking about what Africa Women in DeFi is about, and of course it's about empowering women to enhance opportunities within the decentralized finance to create lasting impact. And I was just thinking, okay, so what is this talk that I would come and give today? I just thought through it and I was like, I'm not really very familiar in the area of, blockchain technology. So what is this new thing, or, just some sort of encouragement that I could bring on board on this? And I was just thinking about it, and I think this is really an exciting opportunity for us to learn. And I love the title of this session, Learn to Earn. It's really exciting. And by just thinking about that, I thought probably for me, my expertise in the area of business, I'm actually a business coach, business strategist. That is basically what I do, and I do that for the women that I work with. I would say in my company, Evoke Global, majority of the people I work with are women. I would say 80% of my clientele, maybe even 85% of my clientele are actually women. And I thought that would be the best place to start, because even as we think of, decentralized finance, we are talking about investments. And here we are also talking about, creating, it has a lot to do with economic development. And what I thought about was we need money first to even start, doing some of these investments that we are thinking about. And I thought about it. I was like, okay, fine. I don't know how many of us here are employed. Maybe you can just lift your hand. Are there people here who are employed? We can use the emoji. Anyone? Okay, are we all in business? Are we in school? Maybe you can type on the chat. Let's make it as interactive as we can. Are we in business? Are we employed? I'm sure we are in either of these categories. Either you are employed or you are in business. So Dolphin is saying, I'm employed. Yeah, and I was just thinking, where will we get the resources to be able to invest? And I just thought that that would be an interesting start of this conversation. Yeah, so just thinking about it, if you look at, I did some research. I did some, research online, and I found some research that was done by the African Research Institute. And they were saying that people who earn between, like, below 50,000 Kenya shillings in Kenya, this is a research that was done in Kenya. They say that they are around 74% of this kind of people. Amongst the population of employed people, there are about 74% of them who earn below 50,000. And then those who earn between 50,000 and 100,000, we're talking about around 23%. And I was like, every time when you go to the malls, you'll find, people are so many shopping. Guys are eating every single day. When you go to the malls, you'll find that. And I was like, whoa, where are people getting money from? Because I mean, in this economy, 50,000 shillings is really not much. If you think about, especially in the city, here in Nairobi, if you think about someone who's earning 50,000 shillings, I mean, that's not much. Someone who has a family earning 50,000 shillings in this economy, it doesn't make sense. And I was like, wow, this is really interesting. Okay, we have the 23% that, earn between 50 and 100,000. And then we only have 3% who earn 100,000 and above. How many here earn above 100,000 and above? I mean, you're in the top 3%. You should celebrate yourself. How many? How many do you have? I'm sure you have a couple. So I thought about it and I was like, so where would someone get money to do investments? If the money that you're earning, let's say, we are talking here about around 97% of the population of employed people are earning below 100,000. I mean, that's crazy. So I just thought about it and I was like, it's really crazy. It's impossible to invest. Someone was saying that a majority of people, especially the ones who are employed, they are just one salary away from being broke, because you earn your salary and you use it up, all of it, and you're done. By the time the month is ending, you find that you have no money, you have to wait for your salary. So if your job goes, then it means you become broke. So I was just thinking about this kind of things and I'm like, wow, really, we have to do something. If you look at statistics also, you'll find that a lot of women right now are really taking a lot of responsibilities. You'll find that, even in a family, having one income is not enough. So as a woman, you're doing your duties as a woman, and at the same time you're working. So it really makes us a very important part of the society as women. So we really need to pat ourselves on the back, because without us, life can be really difficult. And especially for those who go out there every single day and you're earning something, I would like to tell you to pat yourself on the back, because you're doing a lot. And I'm really, really excited to be part of, a group like this where we're talking about African women in DeFi. I mean, this is excellent. This is what we need in our economies to enable our economies to grow. Someone said, if you empower a woman, you're empowering a whole village, you're empowering a whole society. I mean, that is true. So I just to encourage those who are in employment, because I want to really focus more on business, because that's where I am in. I just want to encourage, even if right now you are employed and the amount of money you earn is not really much, and you're thinking, how do I even make investments? It is still possible. What I would say is you might find that someone is earning 100,000, but at the end of it all, they have nothing. But someone earns 50,000 and they're able to save at least a 10,000 or a 5,000. You'd find that that person is much richer than this person who earns 100,000. So that's how we are supposed to think. Think of how you can actually ensure that you live below your means. That is the only way you'll be able to start doing investments and savings. And what I can say is that your level of earning is not as important as the level of retention of that income. The level of retention is what will determine whether you can grow in your investments and as well as save for the rainy days. As we said, these days employment is not as permanent as it used to be a long time ago. My dad worked for the bank for 24 years and he retired. And right now he earns around 100,000 Kenya shillings as pension every single month. So we normally tell him he's such a rich person. He just stays home and he earns 100,000 Kenya shillings. That's a lot. And he started as a teller, worked for 24 years, same bank, never moved. He's doing well. But these days, even for you to get to a place where you're retiring from your job is, that's an achievement. It's not as easy as it used to be. So for us to be able to invest, we have to, it's mathematics. It's basic math. So you have to just live below your means and then save enough money to be able now to do the investments that you have to do. So I want to go to my focus area for today. And today, I just want to talk a little bit about having an entrepreneurial mindset and how that is a key prerequisite, a key ingredient towards excelling in your business. And of course, if your business is excelling, then it means you'll be able to have enough income, enough money to invest, to save, and to do other things. So that's the area I want to focus on because, oh my, if you have a business and it's a business that works, then the sky is the limit. There are no limits to where you can go. The world is your playing ground. That's how I look at it. So there are some prerequisites that I believe are important for you to run a successful business. And I can just run through that quickly before I go into how to create an entrepreneurial mindset. So number one is to have a problem that you're solving. It's a no-brainer. You must have a problem because you can't just start a business and then, there's really no problem that you're solving in it. So there must be a problem that you're solving. And then number two prerequisite for you to have a business is for the people that you're solving the problem for, they need to know that you exist. They need to know where to find you. They need to know that you exist. And then you have a perfect match. The sky is the limit. But the other third ingredient that you need is to have an entrepreneurial mindset. I was talking to a lady, one of my clients, some time back, and she was telling me, she was, what was she doing? She was doing, she was a chef and she was retrenched from her job and she started making, it was during the COVID season, she started making buns. And she realized that there were so many people who were coming to her buying the buns. So it was more like a B2B kind of situation where she was making the buns and selling them to people who want to go and sell in retail. And she had so many clients. So it was so interesting to find that this lady has a very beautiful problem, meaning that she has more clients than she can sustain. So that was, to me, that was an excellent problem that she had. What she was lacking at that particular time was an entrepreneurial mindset to be able to figure out how to scale her business in such a way that she's able to now service all the clients that she has. So she was telling me by around 10, 11, I mean, she has shut down because she can't continue anymore. It's unfortunate that, sometimes when I've come to realize that it's a big challenge. Paying for knowledge is something that I think in the African context, we are yet to really get to a place where we are willing to actually pay for knowledge. She was not able to join the program. I remember I just gave her a few, free sessions, and she was not able to join the program. But I thought that was really interesting that, she has that kind of problem. You can imagine how much more she can grow her business. But just because she had a problem that she was solving, at the same time, customers knew where to find her. The customers she was solving the problem for knew where to find her, but now the customers were too many, and she wasn't able to actually cater to their demands. So there, what was lacking was the entrepreneurial mindset to actually think outside the box and figure out how to now be able to scale the business. So tonight, I just want to focus on the entrepreneurial mindset, which for me is the third ingredient that I think is really key for anyone who wants to have a successful business. And I will start with the first one, which is having an innovative mind, being innovative. This is key for anyone who's running a business, especially in this time, in this age, where we have a lot of information. Innovation is, things are changing within even less than a month. You've started a business, someone else has started something that is actually more improved than the services that you're offering or the products that you're offering. So you have to consistently be out there looking at what is new in my industry, what are people doing out there, constantly thinking about how can you improve your business, how can you make it better, what are the customers saying. Someone would even go through their business for like a whole year without even asking the customers, okay, so how is the service? It's something that should be a constant thing that you keep doing in your business. How was the service? How was the product? Do you enjoy it? Would you come to buy from us again? These are things that we constantly must keep asking our clients, even though you're getting, negative feedback. That is important because it means that person is willing to come and buy from you again if you improve the kind of service that, and the customer feels appreciated when you ask them, how was the experience? They'll want to come back again because they know you care. So you have to constantly be out there asking those kind of questions to your clients, and also just scanning the environment, looking at what is happening in your industry to know when it's time to move to the next big thing. I listened to this lady. She was the first person to be a wholesaler of the M-Pesa. I can't really remember her name. I don't know if someone can remind me. And she was saying right now, if someone would have told her to become an M-Pesa agent, she wouldn't do it now. Because right now, the market is saturated. So for her, she's really big now. She's gone into other things. She's gone into other kind of businesses. But she was amongst, the first people when Safaricom was looking for wholesalers of, scratch cards and, the M-Pesa agents. She was amongst the first people. So she got that advantage, the first mover advantage. And that really made her rich. So it's important to be out there looking at what is happening. Are there new technologies that are coming that will sweep off my business? Is it time for me to flip my business? And is it time for me to sell it? Is it time for me to change it into something else? So it's very important to have that. Then the second thing is to be solution oriented. You have to be a problem solver, focusing on, creating solutions for the customers that you have. And that's where now upselling comes in. If you're constantly talking to your clients, you'll get to a place where now your clients will start giving you other issues that you had not thought of. And then now it's your responsibility to go out there and figure out a solution for them. And that's how now you're able to increase the value of your client over time. It's really, really key to be in that space where you're constantly, creating solutions. And also the other thing that is important under that is to take risks. Yes, you will fall. Risks. You can, take up a certain risk. You fail on it, but it's important to keep doing that. Of course, they must be calculated risks. So that is another thing that is important to focus on, taking risks. And I'll expound on that a little bit more. There's the aspect of being resilient, being determined, being bold. This is something that from the research that I've done, as I mentioned, as I was introduced, I've worked with the women in business for some time. And as I said, in my company, most of my clients are women. And one of the biggest challenge that we normally have is women are so fearful. In fact, you'll find that there are so many women who got there's the certificate that allows you to work with government. So many women have it, but how many are actually utilizing it? You write one tender, you fail at it, and you give up. And then you'll start saying that the government is not giving women tenders. But if someone asks you, how many times did you try? There's a research that was done on the aspect of government procurement allocated to women. And you will find that most of the women were really complaining that they're not getting. But when an extra question was asked, how many times, they would say, I tried twice, I tried 3 times. But I mean, you should even be doing 10 tenders in a month, So we have to create that atmosphere where you're confident with the word no. You're confident to go out there and ask and ask and ask, and be ready for the no's that you're going to get. Be ready for the failures that you're going to get, because I was listening to, I think it's Brian Tracy, the other day. He was saying that the lesson that he got when he was starting his sales job was that the sales job is basically a job where you are racing against getting, you're actually, like, it depends with how many no's you've gotten to be able to make a sale. So for him, he was waking up very early in the morning, going out there to get as many no's as he can, because he knows as at the end of it all, he'll start getting the yeses. So that is one of the areas where, from the research that we've done, we've realized that women really, we get to a place where we give up. Because you've gotten a no today, tomorrow, a whole month you have gone out there, marketed, and you're not getting business, and then you decide to give up. So we have to start cultivating a mindset that is willing to go out there as many times as possible, regardless of how many no's you get. We have to gain that courage. We have to be bold. So the other aspect that I think is very important is we have to be open to change. As I said earlier, constant improvement is important. New technologies come day and night, and we need to be open to, to be open to accept that, okay, new technologies are coming, and we need to now start investing in these new other technologies that are coming in. And I'm glad, because I believe that most of you are really conversant with the technologies that are coming up. Blockchain is one of the new ones that people don't really understand, including myself. Yes, I get the basics, but the mechanics of how it works, that is a big challenge. But now we have to start thinking, okay, so how is this new technology coming to impact my industry? And how can I be part of the first movers in this industry to be able to now propel my business to the next step? So those are really, really important things that we have to think about when we're talking about entrepreneurial mindset. So finally, the fifth one is really personal. I would say, especially for us as women, we need to get over ourselves. For women, most of the time we find ourselves, crying too much in terms of, like, you would meet up with your girlfriends and you're like, oh, things are tough, it's because of this and that. I got pregnant, I'm not able to move anymore. My business is going to stop. So what I normally tell women is, let's get over ourselves. Yes, we are women. If there's one thing that I believe is that we are strong. Let me give you an example. Sometime back, I think 2 years ago, I was running, we were, so what happened is I was able to get a sponsor for our International Women's Day event. At that particular time, I was seriously pregnant. By the time I was getting this sponsor, it was in December, and I was due to get my baby sometime in February. So guess what? The event was happening in March, early March. I think it was around 10th of March. When I went to deliver my child, immediately after delivering, I don't know what happened, but I was really super energetic. It was a cesarean, went in, did the cesarean. I didn't even sleep. You know, the way you're given those anesthesia and you just sleep. I did not sleep. That was my second child. For my first child, it was really an emergency. I remember the first time my water broke, and I told, it was sometime in, actually it was in December 31st. Yes, on 1st. So the following day, my water broke. The following day, on 1st of January, at lunchtime. So I told the people that were in my house that iyo nyama mnapika, please make sure you keep it for me, because I'm just going to pop this baby and I'm coming back to eat. And everyone just laughed at me and all that. And then we went to the hospital, labored up to around 2 a.m. And the doctor was like, ai, huyu amechoka sana. And then I had him talk to his fellow doctor. You need to come urgently. We need to operate on this lady. She's old. So I really laughed at that. And I was like, wow. So that was the first time I was really super, super tired. For that one, I really slept. But for the second one, shockingly, I went in. I actually took myself to hospital, went, checked in, went in. My husband came in a bit later, found me in the hospital. I've already checked in. They've already done the tests. So I'm just waiting to go to the theater. Went to the theater, did the operation. I was still awake, came back. I was even called by one of the people I was working with. They were asking something about the sponsor. And guess what? I continued working even after I got my baby. 2 weeks later, the event was happening and I was there. I even talked to the hotel. I told them, you need to give me a room. I just got my baby. I'm 2 weeks post, giving birth. So I need a room because I need to breastfeed the baby at least after every 1 hour. The event was going from morning till around 4 p.m. And I did it. I went there and I was wearing heels, which was a big mistake. After that, my back was killing me like hell. So you can imagine, I was wearing my heels, I was back in shape. I was wearing a dress that had this peplum thing, so you couldn't really see my stomach, but my bandage was already removed by that time. I think it was 3 weeks. Yeah, so my bandage was already removed. I was okay. And I went in and everyone was like, wait a minute, did you just have a baby? And they could not believe it. So I keep telling women, let's get over ourselves. Yes, we have all these responsibilities. We are moms. And I'm not saying if you're sick, yes, take time off. If you are, you know yourself, you know how your body reacts. If your body is telling you rest, it's rest time, rest. But we need to stop excuses and just go out there and do what we can. I love listening to Lisa Nichols. She's one of the people I'll say she's my mentor because I've done quite a number of her programs, including, online conferences, crazy stuff. And one of the things she says is, no one is coming to rescue you. You're your own rescue. And here I'm talking about single women, divorced, widowed, whoever you are, in whichever space you're in, no one is coming to rescue you. You are your own rescue. I really loved that. And I was like, wow, it's time for me to stop, crying over things, stop making excuses and just go out there and do something. As women, we have so many responsibilities. We are wives, we are mothers, we are big sisters, we are helping back at home, our parents. We are running organizations, we are running our businesses. Some of us are employed and still doing all these things. You get pregnant and you're still expected to do all these things. Let's embrace that. It shows how powerful we are. We are super, super powerful. I'm sure Mr. Masharia will agree with me. Women are powerful. There's so
Totally.
much that
Totally agree. We have principle in African women in decentralized finance, although me not being a woman, is that women holds the entire sky. The women hold the entire
Yes.
sky. You see, this
Yes.
guy called Mao Zedong, I think he was misguided a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
He said that
Yes.
women hold half the sky. That is not true. There is nobody who ever showed up in this planet except through a woman. So the woman is in charge of everything. So what is the role of men like me? Our job is perhaps maybe support the women so that women can hold the sky. So that's what you just said.
Amen.
And I agree with you.
Amen.
That
Amen.
get over yourself. There's that thing called yourself.
Yes.
That yourself is the one who is in the world. See even in the Christian scriptures, it says that the one who is in me is far greater than the one who is in the world.
Amen.
Okay? So the one who is in you is far greater than the one who is in the world. So that one who is in you is the one who gives excuses. I cannot do this, that, the other, and is not even able to. Does not gets rejected, gets angry. That's the one in the world. But the one in you is far greater than that one. That means that you can overcome that one, and that's what we are supposed to do: overcome that one who is in the world. And then that thing about asking once getting rejected. Now see. It's the same thing that when you ask, let's talk about the disciples when Jesus Christ, they asked Jesus, how do we pray? Teach us how to pray. You know what he told them? That he gave them a parable of his friend. A man got visitors at night, and then he went to his friend to ask for something to give his friends. He said, give me 3 loaves for my friends. And then this neighbor told him, yeah, myself and my children are in bed. We cannot come down to give you bread. But then the guy did not leave. He kept asking and asking again. And he said, because of his importunity, not because of friendship, because of his importunity. That means persistence. What you just said,
Yes.
persistence. Because of persistence in asking, this neighbor came down, opened the door, and gave all the things that he wanted so he can go and give his friend. So that is what Jesus was saying. That is how you pray. You don't ask once. And then he said,
Yeah.
if somebody now doesn't do something, how do you do it? He said, forgive him. I said,
Yes.
forgiving is to ask again. So if you get rejected, ask again. Forgive.
Yes.
How many times can you do it? 7 times? No, not 7.
Yeah.
7 times 70.
70.
That is persistence. So thank you so much
Yes.
for teaching us about this entrepreneurial mindset. So, but go
Awesome.
on. Sorry
Awesome.
for interrupting. You ask more.
No, that was important. Thank you so much for sharing. So yeah, so and even as I say this, there are a couple of things that I want to also put as overriding things that we need to think about, even as we say we are getting over ourselves. But there are things that are critical, especially us as women. We are very soft, we are very fragile. So if there's one thing I have to say is take care of yourself, do self-care, exercise, eat well, sleep, take care of yourself. That is really, really important. And even as I tell you this, I'm telling myself. In fact, I just reached out to one of my clients who is a self-care enthusiast. That's what she calls herself online. She does wellness. And I was telling her, you know what, we need to have a meeting because I feel like I am kind of overwhelmed and my energies are low. We all know our bodies. Somehow, women, we have this intuition thing. You can just tell there's something wrong here. You need help. So go out there and seek for help. Do self-care. Take care of yourself. Look good. Invest in yourself. Invest in how you look. Take care of yourself. Number 2 on that is plan your time. This one, I cannot even repeat it many times. Plan your time. Plan everything. It includes time for your husband, time for your children, time for cleaning, time for taking care of the home, time for work, time for yourself. Plan it, because if you do not, you'll find that you've really taken so much time in other things, and you find that you're neglecting your family. Your husband is unhappy, your kids are unhappy because you do not have time for them. So if there's one thing I've learned is that there's no work-life balance. It's a lie. There is nothing like that. It will be impossible to balance, because at this point you might be pregnant, so you have to take care of yourself. The other kids need to give you time to just go through that process. For me, it's usually the first 3 months. The first month I'm usually like kind of bedridden, like I cannot even move. It's like my body is doing some mechanics uko ndani. I cannot even move. So I just find myself sleeping the whole day. If I'm standing up maybe to go to shower, food is brought in the bedroom, I cannot do anything. That is my experience in terms of pregnancy. I don't know what your experience is. Maybe there are some people who on the last month they can't even do anything. For me, the last trimester is my best. I can move around, I can do whatever. I'm all over the place. I can do whatever needs to be done. But as I said, you need to really figure out your time. And as I said, there is no life balance. You have to be present. When you have allocated that time for your husband, be present 100%. When you've allocated time for your kids, be present 100%. When you're at work, be 100% there. When it's time for you, I saw something interesting online. A lady had created a mommy cage. She was calling it a mommy cage, where she just wants to sit there and relax and read her book. The kids are all over the place, wanting to get in, but they can't, because it's a mommy cage for her to just be by herself. So if you have to look for a place where you can be going, or just locking your bedroom at a certain period of time when you just need to be by yourself to think through your life and, And I hear many women saying, oh, I lost a lot of time because I was focusing on the kids. I didn't focus on myself. And then you find someone asking for a divorce because, oh, now they want to focus on themselves. I think these are things that we can do concurrently. I believe that God has given us the power as women to do all these things. We can do all these things through Christ who strengthens us. Yes, we can. I totally believe that. So plan your time. And then number 3, I have 5. So number 3 is get help when you need it. Ask your spouse. Like now today, I came in and my husband was doing something, and I told him, Aki, please, I forgot to inform you, but allow me to do this meeting. You can stay away with the kids because I need to be in this meeting kindly. And he was able to do that for me. So ask. Sometimes we don't ask, and then we expect that our husbands are magicians. They'll be able to see what we need. Ask. If you need him to buy you a gift, ask. If you need him to take you out, ask. If that is what will make you happy, ask. Men are not magicians. So ask for help. Ask if you need to bring in help in your business to take care of your family, your cleaning and all those things that we need to do as women. Bring the help. Get help. You are not a superwoman. As I have said, yes, God has given us the strength, but we also have limits. So if there are things that you need to offload, if you can delegate some things, even at work, ask for help. Bring in the help. Then the next thing, number 4, is rest. It's important. Plan for your rest. But even as you rest, don't remain there and stop what needs to be done. You have to get back up. If, for example, your business fell, you lost, a certain business, take some time off, even if it's a month, then get back up. Because sometimes we are beaten down and we stay down, but we have to get back up. It is in the quality of our getting up that will determine how far we'll be able to go. So you have to keep moving. You have to keep moving. You fall, you stand up, you crawl, you stand, and you keep going. Then finally, we have to build businesses. We have to create legacy businesses. And this is one of the things that I really love to do, helping, women who are in the business world to just create businesses that will outlive them, businesses that they don't really have to be there for the business to run. And I always talk about the 3 B's of a business. Here we're talking about the brain of the business. I look at a business as a person, as a human being. When a human being is being formed in their mother's womb, they start with a small cell and they grow. Probably it's the brain that comes, or it starts with the blood cells multiply, and then it forms the brain, and then later it builds the muscles, the bones inside the body, and then it becomes a human being. So I always see a business as a human being. It has 3 parts: the blood, the brains, and the bones. So when you're talking about the blood of the business, you're talking about the revenue systems that you have created for yourselves. Basically, do you have clients in your business? And that is where I normally tell people, start from there. If you can create something that people want, it means you have a business. Then now we go to the brain of the business, where now you're thinking strategically about your business. You're thinking, how can I build this business to outlive me? What is my 10-year goal plan for my business? What do I want to see in the next 20 years in my business? How big do I want my business to be? Coming up with a strategic plan for the business. As you start coming up with, a small business plan that will help you build it slowly, thinking strategically in your business. and also working on your business. There's usually a difference between working in your business and working on your business. So basically, working on your business is when you are focusing on, looking at the business from a bird's eye view. You remove yourself from the business and you look at the business from a bird's eye view. How are we running the business? What is the client's journey map? From the time we get the client to the time they leave us, what is the satisfaction rate? Going through all that and thinking through the systems and the processes that your business has. Are they making sense? Are they redundant? Do you need to make changes? So it's important to be able to set aside time to do that. Then finally, the bones of the business, and this is where now the aspect of creating a legacy business comes in. Have you documented the processes and the systems that you have in your business? Have you put in place systems? Have you automated some areas in your business such that that if there are things that are repeated, have you automated that system? There are so many systems out there that can help you do that. Have you created structures in your business? Do you know who is doing what in your business? Do your employees, do they know what they're expected to do? Do they have KPIs? Do they have, key performance indicators? Are they clear on their outcome? Do they understand the plan that you have for the business? Can they see where they fit in the strategy that you have created in the business? So these are important things. And one of the things that currently we are doing is helping entrepreneurs, systemize their businesses and also document. Did you know that if you want to sell your business, let's say it's a service business, you want to sell it, you can actually quantify the documentation of your business, the processes, the systems that you have documented, that you have created for your business. Did you know that you can actually quantify that and value it? If let's say your business is worth maybe 100 million, part of that 100 million could be that you have quantified the systems, the systems that you have created, the structures that you have built, and the processes that you have documented. So it's really, really important. And those are some of the works that we are doing under our consultancy business. And I think with that, I want to leave it there. And as I wrap up, just as a recap, an entrepreneurial mindset, you have to be innovative. You must have an innovative mindset. You must be solution oriented. You must be a problem solver. Number 3, you have to be resilient, determined, and bold. Underline the word bold. Bold, that's where we fail most of the time. Then number 4 is you must be open to change. You must be willing to change. And number 5, get over yourself. And just as we conclude, I have said you get over yourself, but even as you get over yourself, please don't push yourself to a place where you can actually have a heart attack. Number 1, take care of yourself, plan your time well, get help when you need help, rest, and also build a legacy business. Don't just build a business where you're going to be an employee in it. Think like an entrepreneur and build it in such a way that you can go on holiday for 3 months and the business continues. And I will conclude at that point. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you for listening. Yeah. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Diana. That was a really powerful presentation. Yeah, and I know most of us have really learned a lot. And for saving, just to add something on what you are saying, live within your means. Yeah, if you go and read there's this book, yeah, which I learned through our CEO, Daktari Masharia, The Richest Man in Babylon. Is really a nice book, yeah, and it will really motivate you on how to save, yeah, live within your means, yeah. So encourage for all the people who haven't read that it's an audio. Yeah, it's an audio on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Riches of Babylon. Yeah, you'll really get to love it. So thank you so much. Yeah, I really enjoyed your presentation and I've learned a lot. So allow me to welcome our CEO to give just a few remarks. Meanwhile, you can be sending, if you have any question or any remarks, you can send it on our chat box. Yeah. So, Dr. You are welcome.
Thank you much. Thank you so much, Dolphin. And Diana, you're a great blessing to all of us, even the men, of course, because I've had things that I've never had before. You have said them. And things that men don't know about, how women operate, and even women themselves do not understand men. What you say that men are not magicians, that's a very powerful statement. I think some ladies do not understand that. Me being a man, I have discovered that a lady is doing something and she's expecting that you know what she's doing. She's even expecting what she knows what you are thinking as a man. So the lady doesn't tell you, and then she gets angry that you did not realize what she was thinking. How is that? And I think that usually is the greatest problem in relationships. And of course, there's something else you said, which is really powerful, that Kenyans, in our tradition, we do not want to pay for knowledge. We think that knowledge is not an investment, and that is tragic. That is, people want to be given advice, and then they don't value it enough to pay for it, or they think that they could have figured it out all by themselves. So that makes a big difference between us, say maybe I think in Africa, and say the cultures like Japanese people revere knowledge, and say even South Koreans, Europeans too, and Americans, they pay a lot of money for knowledge, because the knowledge is much, much more important than what you think you're doing, because somebody else out there already knows a process, knows the solution to the process you're trying to implement. So when you do not want to pay for that, you want to beat about in the bush forever and ever. And that is what causes businesses to collapse, because we are missing a certain detail, but we do not want to pay for it. Okay, so the other thing is that now we'd like to add about this, particularly scaling a business. For example, the lady you gave us example who was making buns. There's one principle that I learned in Boston, made by the group called the Boston Consulting Group. Their philosophy or their doctrine at the Boston Consulting Group, which is a consulting firm, just for teaching people in business, is that do not do any task you can delegate. So you would see if somebody like that is making buns that have got such huge demand, and then the problem is that she cannot meet the market, is because she's trying to do all the work by herself. So one principle in business is do not do any task you can delegate. That means teach other people, teach another person to do what should be done. That's how you get employees, by teaching them, and then create standardized operating procedures. That this is how you do it. You standardize that, and then you give the person key performance indicators that you will know you have performed well when you have sold so many buns or you have reached so many customers. Okay, that's what I would like. I wanted to add. It's a very powerful, very powerful presentation, Ms. Kolek. Now, I can say one thing about decentralized finance. So you get in the know as well. Decentralized finance, the blockchain, it is the new technology of value. And in the beginning, you ask, where does this money come from, which you're going to invest? Every one of us, every one of us, women, men included, is that when you're going about our everyday life, we produce things of value. Now, value is a very tricky thing. Value can be represented in Kenya shillings, but it can only be represented in Kenya shillings so long as the people who make those balance sheets of value recognize the value that is being produced. For example, the value of the work of a motherhood. There is no balance sheet in this planet that shows the value of the work being produced by a woman. The value produced by a woman is a mother. So the value of motherhood does not appear anywhere in the balance sheet. And that problem of having so much work of value, which produces great public good is that a mother carries pregnancy to term, gives birth to baby, reaches the whole family, but that value is not accounted for. You cannot count the value of that work in the traditional finance system. But fortunately, we have technology today which is called decentralized finance that is able to capture that value. That is deep science. The deep science is that the mathematics that were built to that we have used to create the traditional finance system, the banking system, central banks, is based on something called calculus, which was algebraic calculus by Isaac Newton, all the way 1600s. But now we have come to the new mathematics. Calculus is the mathematics of equilibrium, which is built on a theory of scarcity. You know, economics, scarcity. So scarcity is what we believe is the lifeblood of economics. But scarcity is misguided because scarcity is the opposite of abundance. You can see the work that the woman does is reproductive, is efflorescent. It produces more. It's a work of abundance. And the traditional finance system does not comprehend abundance. See, however, the decentralized finance system on the blockchain, like the Bitcoin itself, is built on the new mathematics. It's known as mathematics of information, on the information theory, or the mathematic theory of communication. Mathematic theory of communication comprehends randomness. It comprehends abundance. It comprehends disequilibrium, things that are happening incidentally. And that is now eventually, when you boil it down, it comes down to something called decentralized finance. And so when you're talking about women in DeFi, women in decentralized finance, we're now talking about women embracing the technology that comprehends them. Women embracing the technology that comprehends them. As you see, in the traditional finance system, 60% of the women are unbanked because the bank people in the traditional finance do not consider women to be profitable. And that scares women. It's because they have to go to the bank, they have to, maybe advocate for themselves in front of a banker. The bank is asking for lots of documentation. And then women give up. But now in the decentralized finance system, there's no bank to go to. The bank is in your phone, on the phone. And the medium of communication is called a token. So in your phone, you have a wallet, which is now available to every woman. And even a woman who doesn't have a phone, there's somebody with a phone in the family. And this means that every family has access to a cell phone where that person can put a wallet, and in that wallet, now that person can enter into decentralized finance platform and then begin participating in high finance, just like an investment banker in New York City. And that opens up, and of course, without questions, without being asked to bring documents or being looked down upon because she's a woman or anything. Because decentralized finance is impersonal, it has no gender. It's no gender, no personality, and is absolutely accessible. And so, how then does it capture the value of the work that you produce every day? You see, the value that you produce every day is being ability to sell what you produce. So if you can sell what you produce, you get paid. Now, the biggest challenge today is getting paid. for the services that you provide. And you're talking, say, like women even up in up country, in the villages, they are doing subsistence work. They have an extremely hard time getting paid for what they are producing in their shambas. And I think it is now a new horizon for finance, a new horizon in finance that is absolutely inclusive to women, 100% inclusive to women, and women want to really pay close attention to understand it. Now, decentralized finance, because over the past 10 years, since the advent of the Bitcoin itself, it has received some serious negative publicity, and you can understand why. It's because it's a complete overthrow of the centralized finance system. So people who are in a traditional centralized finance system would not want other people to know what it is all about. So they have smeared that decentralized finance, making it look terrible, like technology used by thieves, criminals, gangsters, drug traffickers, and anti-money launderers, and all those kinds of things. The truth of the matter is that it is not. It's the technology that is just exactly like WhatsApp. You see, before WhatsApp came around, we had to go to a centralized organization to make phone calls. If you wanted to call someone in China, you had to book a PABX. I mean, you had to book an international exchange through the poster. Now, when Web3, Web2 came along, and we had voice over the internet protocol, then you can speak to anyone, anywhere on the planet, so long as that person has got internet access. Now, what happened to the post office? The post office disappeared in most places. And so decentralized finance is doing the same thing, or is like to do the same thing to the traditional banking system. That now it actually opens up access to finance to everybody in the world, billions of people, not the few people that the bankers are going to choose. But this one is open for everyone. This absolute economic freedom. And that is what's scaring the people in the traditional finance system. They are totally scared that they might become irrelevant, as the post office was made irrelevant by the email and WhatsApp. All right. So, and what happens then if the decentralized finance catches fire? We're not going to need commercial banks or even central banks. That is what is quite scary. And see, this is a time to get into decentralized finance. I tell you what, over the past 10 years, let's say 4 years, the US, the United States, and the Democrats have been extremely hard against, hard line against the decentralized finance. And they have arrested so many people who are, software engineers who have written very good code that can help people, bring in a lot of people into the finance market. But then elections in the US was about 3 weeks ago. We have a new president who is pro-decentralized finance. He's called Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump has got a lot of other issues about him because he's kind of cuckoo. But he's got one positive thing about him is that he understands decentralized finance and he wants to put it open. And you see his greatest supporter, who is called Elon Musk. Elon Musk also is in favor of decentralized finance, decentralization. So this means that over the next 4 years, at least, because the US is always the one that is leading on this thing, you're going to see an explosion of the uptake of decentralized finance. That means that people are going to be able to represent their value, the value of the work they produce every day in the finance market. And when I say finance market, we're not talking about just the local market, we're talking about global finance market. Like, for example, what happens in the New York Stock Exchange, but this time now not New York Stock Exchange. It is what is going on in, say, Binance Chain, in a Pancake Swap liquidity pools, in Uniswap. Now you're able to participate in such finance places when you're just in a village without having to move out of the village, but through your phone. So that is the power of decentralized finance. And I think this is something that's very important for maybe the African Chamber of Commerce and something that we can discuss much later and see how to pack. And we need to onboard hundreds upon hundreds, if not millions of people onto the decentralized finance platform. Just like the way we have millions of people on WhatsApp, just like the way we have millions of people on Facebook. Now those, let's say WhatsApp and Facebook are what we call Web 2 or the right web. That is for writing that anyone you can express yourself. Before that, you only could read what a few people could write. But now we have the right web where you have the freedom to express yourself, even promote your business on Web 2. But now we have Web 3, which is does not only have the right web, but it also combines that with the own web. So when you're talking about legacy, the own web is the technology for legacy, which is decentralized finance. That's the blockchain. Blockchain is called the own web, so that you can own the value of the work that you produce every single day or every hour. Thank you. That's what I would like to add about that. Thank you so much for the work you're doing. It's very, very powerful. We appreciate that. And of course, I want to thank your husband also for being gracious enough. Tell him that we say that we are very happy.
Yeah, and thank you. I'm so sorry for calling you Mr. Masharia. Ni Dr. Masharia. That Nini is very important. I have to acknowledge my apologies.
Don't worry about that. I was Mr. many years before even I became a doctor, and I became even a doctor again, and I'm not even worried about it. but the real deal is that, as I said, the one who is in you is far greater than the one who is in the world. So the one who is in the world may be the doctor, but it's the one in me who is far greater than that. See?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yes. So that's how I get over myself also. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and for listening to me. I don't know if there are any questions for me or anything.
So the question is now, how do we move forward? I think what we can do, because you know about the summits coming up next week, but one at KU, we're gonna have a big workshop on women in decentralized finance. Actually, there's something that's cooking, something that's afoot. I want to tell you. So this is a sneak preview of what the summit's about.
Okay. Awesome.
The summit is about us understanding a technology or science known as capital formation. Have you ever heard of that word, capital formation?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it is not taught to us. That is hidden from us by design. Capital formation is a technology that the British people used to build the British Empire. They cannot form capital. As you said in the beginning, there's no innovation that you can have without innovating the money. So capital formation is the science of innovating money so that you can have enough money for innovating anything else you want.
Okay.
So capital formation should be administered through a group called Capital Market Authority in Kenya.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Capital Market Authority is not even controlled by anyone from Kenya. Not even all the capital markets authorities in Africa. They are not. They are not. The guys in Kenya, you could say, they don't have any power. Let me tell you why. So, for example, you have a business and you would like to list your business in the Nairobi Stock Exchange. How likely is it that you can list your business in the Nairobi Stock Exchange today as a Kenyan woman? It is impossible. Yes. Then you look at the companies listed in Nairobi Stock Exchange, you will see that almost all of them actually European-owned companies, including Equity Bank, Safaricom, and you can name any you want. Kenya Breweries, they are European companies. Okay? This means that Nairobi Stock Exchange is a place for capital formation for the British Empire. If we cannot form capital in our nation, how can we actually even think about building business? That we cannot innovate in money. But we don't have to worry about that anymore at all. That the capital formation is the mainstream technology for the blockchain. It's for helping people to form capital so that they can invest in their businesses. Decentralized finance. So capital formation became decentralized at the advent of the blockchain. And that's one thing we have to understand. See, a company like Safaricom, which is Vodacom, can come to Nairobi and then tell people they're selling shares. They form capital so that they can build a big business, which is Safaricom. So when Mwangi of Equity Bank, he started out playing the village as a small business, but when the business came to maturity, very quickly it was whisked out of Mwangi's control. And it is now owned by some British investment group. And Mwangi is what? Yeah, he's there, but he has made, but you can tell that, so you can see that for all the other banks, including say Absa Bank, well, they are all European owned banks. You see, even when you think they are rising, we are taking over. So this capital formation, the capital formation science, the science of capital, is kept secret or mysterious to us, or by design. Yeah, but it's because now, even through the centralized finance system, and that's why they make it so difficult. It's extremely difficult for you now to create a company and then say you're issuing shares, and then you can float those shares in the Nairobi Stock Exchange. Try doing that. If you're going to find, they are going to make sure that you don't get there, whether you like it or not. But now we don't need that. We don't need permission, because in decentralized finance, you don't need hundreds of millions of shillings to form capital, because people actually have a clue about how to form capital in what we call harambes and chamas. But those chamas that we have in the community, they cannot get listed in the stock market because of that thing that prevents us from getting in there. And of course, the Central Bank of Kenya is going to come with so many reasons telling you cannot list this, that, the other. They say it doesn't qualify for a lot of things that you actually create. Those things are created by people, let's say by men. This decentralized finance overthrows all that. And that is why it scares them to really, scares them to bits. So when you're talking about forming capital for funding innovation, even in biomedicine, we can never reach there in the traditional finance system, the traditional finance way in Africa. So that Africa has to continue buying medications, medical devices, medical supplies from everybody else out there, because we can't form capital to innovate. But now we are not worried about that anymore, because we have the ability to form capital to innovate. So one fun thing I'll tell you about that capital formation issue problem, it was described way back in 2000 by a guy called Hernando de Soto, and he called it the mystery of capital. So you can read that book, Mystery of Capital, Why Capitalism Triumphs in the West and Fails Everywhere Else. Not why capital triumphs in the West and fails everywhere else. What Hernando de Soto, explain that mystery, but he did not specifically point, he did not put his finger to the point of the actual problem, that why we cannot form capital that is done by design, so that we continue to remain dependent. And so when people are down, you can control them in which way you want. But now with decentralized finance, and of course, Hernando de Soto, he's a Peruvian, he's from Peru. Peruvian economist. He is very excited about decentralized finance as well. Plus all the people who are concerned about that lack of capital formation in Africa, that absence of capital formation in Africa. When there's no capital, capital is actually there in great quantities, but it's not represented in the market. And what Hernando de Soto referred to that is called it dead capital. So Hernando de Soto concluded by saying that Africa is mountains upon mountains of dead capital. And he called it citadels of dead capital in Africa. You see, as I was saying, that the technology that we're using, even the idea, with the centralized finances itself, cannot even allow capital formation to happen because it's a concept that's built on scarcity. If you know people who are economists, all they'll be talking about is scarcity, scarcity, scarcity. They don't consider the abundance of resources we have in Africa. And because they cannot consider that, that's why they would not allow people in Africa to form capital, because they think they are going to consume all the resources and they get finished. And then after that, we have nothing left on earth. Such a misguided idea. So anyway, that's what the summit is about. You could say it's a revolt, it's a revolution to embrace the new technology for capital formation, which is totally decentralized, which gives us absolute independence. Because the independence we received in 1963 was kind of some sort of independence which got political without economic independence. And I can tell you, when we understand capital formation, then all that money that women are able to raise in chamas can you imagine? All the women have good ways of raising money, even their table banking. All that money, if it is appearing in the capital markets, how much money is that? And then that money becomes available for them to fund each other's businesses through a technology known as quadratic funding. So we'll be talking a lot more about this in the summit, quadratic funding for helping women fund their businesses so that they can innovate as much as they want. And then the value of the work gets represented in the marketplace, and that value can appear in the balance sheet so it can get traded, becomes liquid and tradable. Okay, so that's all the hyper science. I hope I did not crush you with the science. That's hyper science of the blockchain and capital formation. All right, so I guess I hope there are questions by other people.
Okay, I can see Salome. Salome has asked, hope we shall start merry-go-round within Actuate members so as to help us start a business in order to be financially stable and also support others.
Yes, that merry-go-round is called quadratic funding. So I think it's going to come out of this summit. Yes, Salome, thank you.
Yeah, this is just a comment from Diana. Yeah, I thank God I'm here. This is exactly what I've been dreaming of. Thank you. Yeah, thank you also.
Yeah, you're most welcome. All right, Dolphin, I think we have gone way past the hour, but it's a very exciting project. And one other thing is that for Diana, this video is recorded and it's also streaming in YouTube. So it's going to be the YouTube is going to appear on YouTube. So if there are people who are not here today, they may watch it later on, or there's some people who are watching it through YouTube who are not in the Zoom meeting. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm excited. Kindly share the link
Yes, we'll
so
share
that
the
I can
link.
share it on my new. Sorry, guys, mommy duties.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, we appreciate you so much, Diana. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, maybe you will fill the form. I will assist you on how to create a wallet. Yeah, the form I've just sent.
Oh, you'll assist her later. She's going on mom duties.
Yeah. Okay. So because of time, thank you. This has been amazing session. So I've just posted the link to the to the form, to the attendance form. So thank you, Diana, Diana Kolek, for being here and for your powerful presentation. And I would also like to thank you, Daktari, for those remarks and taking time to being here with us through this session. And also I'd like to thank every one of you, each and every one of you, for being here. Thank you so much. Yeah. So let's meet again next Tuesday. And the meeting is adjourned. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Oh,
everyone.
and for those who are interested in getting in touch with me, I've left my contact, so you can always reach out to me. If there are people here who are below 30 years old, I'm running a free mentorship program for women. I am all about women economic empowerment and just, growing ourselves holistically. And anyone who is in business, let's talk. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. Thank you. Thanks to evoke potential. When you get that one, when you get that one, you evoke. We have something called evoke potential in neuroscience.
Oh, really? Okay.
Evoke,
That's
Google what is
interesting.
evoke. Yeah, I'm an expert in evoke potentials.
I'll check it out. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you can call it evoke potential.
It's called Evoke Global. I've always thought of going to the world, from Kenya to the world. So the company
Okay,
is called Evoke Global. Yeah.
evoke global. So you see now you have the technology for evoking global, which is called
I know, right?
the blockchain.
I
That
know.
means
Yes.
blockchain puts you right into the global marketplace, right? Whoop,
Yeah.
through your cell
Yeah.
phone all the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Really excited. Thank you so much. And I can't wait for the conference. Is it going to be the first week of January? I'm hoping.
Yes, January 3 to 6. Those are 3 days.
Perfect.
4 days.
Perfect. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All
Awesome.
right. I look forward to the detail. Thank you.
Okay. Have a good one.
You too. Okay. Bye.
Oh, yeah.